Would you? Can't give up big plays on defense, and you can't turn the ball over in offense. Real simple. Got to give all the credit to Coach Rhodes and Iowa State. Came into our house and beat us. Fair and square, pushed us around. You got to understand that it's got to be. That's what I told them downstairs. Around here, that's only our fourth loss in 4 years. Losing is a disease. If you don't do something about it, it just keeps spreading. Losing's got to hurt. I'm not a very good loser. It's pretty simple. But you got to give them a lot of credit. They came in and did a great job. Turned the ball over. Not going to win very many games. The running backs don't hold on. We couldn't play Tucker. Game time decision. His ankle just wasn't ready. So we played BJ. We played Andre Dean. Too many freshmen today. Defensively, we had 3 big stops, and 2 of the 3 we had personal fouls that kept them going. The one I have to watch on film, Stanley said he saw the ball out, so he dived in. They called flags, so I got to see if that's what happened. So I'll go from there. But you got to get ready to play. Like I told you, this is not going to be a sprint. It's going to be a long journey. It's not going to be just 1 year. Had a lot of young players. Until we threw the interception, it's a 7-point ball game, and we've got to drive it and doing something about it. You can't do that. So. How many turnovers did we have? 5. Not going to get very far doing that. And at least 2 of them were inside the 10-yard line with it. Both of them by freshmen. Got to play.
Gary, they made a comment, I think they made a decision in their locker that they were going to go with Barnett right before they took the field. To what extent did you guys get ready for him this week?
I mean, they ran the same offense. They didn't do anything different. He's a little bit faster, but he didn't do much different. You know, they can, you know, our biggest thing is when you play an Iowa State, you can't give up big plays. We were actually one of the second touchdown, we were in a zone blitz. The guy got double moved. We told them all week when they're in their big groups, meaning 2 tight ends, or when the tight end stadium was going to be downtown for the ground, they're going to try to throw vertical, and I know they did twice. I'm going to look on film. I think the first touchdown's questionable, but I'm going to watch it.
Gary, you predicted trick play, reverse pass before the game, and did you have an inkling?
No, I just know, I told you guys all week what he does when he goes on the road. He goes on the road, he tries extra special stuff because you got to find a way to take games, and they did. But even with all that, you just can't turn the ball over.
Gary, what do you guys play the first 4 weeks? Did you see any of this coming? Just in terms of sloppiness, turnovers, things like that.
No, I mean, number one, you never played Trayvon Boykin. Everybody acts differently with leadership and everything else. You got to get used to it. We hadn't played BJ Catalan. So I mean, the guys that we had problems with as far as turnovers hadn't played in ball games. So in answer to your question, no. BJ played a little bit of the second half last week, no. I mean, he was 3 of the fumbles, correct? And Trayvon was all the interceptions. So I mean, they just, like I told them downstairs. I mean, Andy Dalton against Air Force his redshirt freshman year, he checks to a fade. They intercept it, they go to the length of the field, they tie the ball game up, and go into overtime and get beat. 20-17. You gotta learn, It's not go out and play, it's not schoolyard. It's wins and losses. Until you understand it's not about how many yards you throw for, how you move the football, how you do things, it's about winning and losing. Okay? Andy Dalton had to learn that lesson, Trayvon will have to learn that lesson. BJ, in the second half, did a really good job of keep taking care of the ball.
First start, how would you say Trayvon did?
You know, I got to watch the film, but I mean, we've still got to have a lot better game management. Like on the final drive, we used up too many seconds. We got to get in out of the huddle. We got to get on the line of scrimmage. We got to run plays because it was just about going to be to a point because I had to use a timeout. The 2 timeouts was not going to help me stop them enough to get the ball back, even if we do score. You got to get in the huddle. We got to get in the play. We got to get it running. that starts with us too, getting the play in, everything that needed to be done.
Was them going to the hurry up, did that affect the defense much?
Oh, they did on the first series, the second half. Yep. We also had a freshman not slant out, and they ran the ball for about 25 yards on us, and when they're in their three-back situation, and again, it's, you gotta get up, you gotta think fast, you gotta play. So it's, but we didn't do near enough right, but we did enough right to be in a ball game that we had a chance to win. Simple as that. But you can't keep making mistakes and do that. So, I mean, they were only 4 of 13. They were 4 of 13 on third down. Okay? But in this league, you can't give up big plays. I mean, what was my mantra before we started this? You got to make people kick field goals. Simple as that. They're going to be just as fast or faster people down the road, doing all the things we need to do. Hopefully we learn from the lesson. Like I told you, our first goal is to get to 6 wins. But you got to get to 5 before you do that, and we lost a chance today. A lot of that had to do with Iowa State did a great job.
Do you have any problem with having Boykin coming out, throwing his first pass attempt long down the middle?
If you were me, would you, Stephen?
Not with the result, but with the play call.
Well, I don't know if that was actually where he was supposed to throw it. But you don't throw down the middle of the field with a deep third safety, but again, I'll find out what exactly the thought process was of why we did it.
I know you don't want to answer this one.
Go ahead.
What's that?
Go ahead, that's okay.
No,
And now I can't feel any better, worse than I do right now, I promise you. So go ahead.
you made a decision on Casey.
Now, I told you I'm not making anything till Sunday. Chancellor and I are gonna meet tomorrow.
Do you think that had any effect on your team this week, Coach?
Well, I mean, Junior that played on our team, not all week, because we didn't really know anything about it till Thursday. That thing didn't happen until Wednesday night, Thursday, so. Now, it'd been easier if it happened earlier, that if it was gonna happen. You're asking me if I was gonna have to have it happen? Yeah, it'd been better if it happened Saturday night, so I could have played the guy as the starter all week, but as I've learned in my profession, you don't get to choose when it happens, okay? So, you know, again, you have a guy that's lost 2 games and won 15 or 16 as a starter, and you're bringing a redshirt freshman. There's a big difference. A guy that's been in the program 4 years, and a guy's a redshirt freshman. So, but I mean, really, to be honest with you, Big 12 defense. I mean, we had 455 yards. You just can't throw 3 picks. We just got to be smarter. It's just you can't be a hope. You don't just wing in and hope. Because they could have caught a couple more. I mean, we had some guys make some nice catches. We had some good calls. But I mean, I'm sure BJ and Trayvon both learned quite a bit today. I mean, it's as simple as that. But I mean, it's like I told you before I started all this, no matter what happened last week, I told this team before we started the season, there was going to be adversity. Every time I've ever had a team as young as what this is, there is. Fortunately for us, we got to 4 wins before we ran into a wall. Now, how do we handle next week? And then how do we handle next week? And we grow from it. We grow from it. We have a chance. But you have to have good leadership, and that starts with me. And we'll look at the film. We got meetings tomorrow at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and we'll go about our business and try to win the next one.
What is there that you can do, or if there is anything, to fix the turnover situation in the red zone?
You got to get both hands on the ball. The biggest thing is they got to understand that not always I have to get to the end zone when I'm stood up and people are coming from everywhere and I have to back up. I got to get both hands on the ball. Sometimes it's just best to get down. I mean, I think all 3 fumbles had to do with breaking one tackle and then I'm running all over the place and somebody from behind gets me. You gotta get both, and he did a great job. If you notice, BJ, if you watch the film, the whole second half, when he started getting the ground, he got both hands on the ball, and the ball didn't come out, this whole second half. At some point in time, you find out the risk reward's not worth, every time I go, I'm gonna score a touchdown. I mean, you gotta be smart, so, we have to learn from it.
You said smart. Is your team,
No,
what was I gonna say?
I mean,
What was I gonna say?
dumb,
Yeah. No, seriously, is
No.
it dumb or is it just lack of experience?
no, it's just lack of experience. Well, here's the thing, every young player, it's like every quarterback, it's like, again, I'm gonna go back to Andy. That Air Force game, he threw for like, I don't know, 340, 370 yards. Winning is the only stat that counts, period. That's it. Winning is the only stat that counts. It's never changed from that. You've got to find a way to win. Okay? There's no bonus points. You don't get style points. It doesn't make any difference how that all goes. You've got to win. It's like I asked when we came in the room during 2 days, how many people on this defense played in the Rose Bowl? Or was it here? It was 2 hands. 2. You gotta grow your team back up. That's what you do. And if you get satisfied, even with young players, that it's okay to go lose a ball game, then all you did is allow them to have the excuse to go do it again. We don't do that. So we'll get ourselves ready tomorrow.
Is there a final question? Okay, thanks, Coach. We have Sam Carter and Josh Boyce.